There's an incredible trend happening in smartphones right now, one that you can definitely love or hate. Simply put, there are so many of them coming out, and so fast as well. 2019 has seen the release of like a dozen flagship phones already, and we're not even at the halfway point yet. But with all of these phones coming out, it is easy to overlook some of the earlier contenders, so I wanted to look at one in this video. And you know what? You should still pay attention to HONOR's most recent phone, because at a pretty affordable price, the View20 actually set a couple of bars that other phones are working on right now. This is Pocketnow and I'm Joshua Vergara. What's going on, everybody? This is an HONOR View20 revisit. Now, the reason why this isn't a true after the buzz is partially because of all the damn phones that are coming out so fast. It's hard to actually use a phone for an extended period of time at this point because we have to move on to the new ones pretty quickly. So I wanted to get back to the HONOR View20, use it for a little while, and focus on a few key aspects. Of course, the phone is still high-end in the current smartphone climate. With the 7nm Kirin 980 graciously sourced by Huawei, this phone is very quick and has the storage and the RAM to back it up. Even though the fixed storage could get filled up pretty fast because of all of the big pictures and the 4K video recordings, having 128GB of space in the base model is still appreciated. And then there is the supercharge-ready 4000 mAh battery that is still more than enough for all-day usage. Now, all of this powers the Magic UI system. Looks a little bit like EMUI, but it is still far from a stock Android build in both look and feature set. There are a ton of things you can do with this phone, including creating a private space in which an entire second user profile and space can be created. This is a software feature that I'm actually using right now. This HONOR View20 is not my personal unit. I'm borrowing this one from TK Bay, and it's a way for me to illustrate the private space. I'm basically using what can amount to a partition that is entirely mine, with all of my accounts and my data after starting from scratch. Now, you can tell that this is the case because if I go to the storage, a lot of it is taken up, and that's all TK's data. But they are tucked away behind a lock screen and a code that I don't know. This is a useful feature if you want to have two different spaces personally for, let's say, work or play, or in my case, you need to let someone borrow your phone for a little while. And once I got to the phone, you know I put some gaming on it right away. I got in a couple of my current obsessions and have enjoyed speedy and worry-free gaming experiences already. Part of the reason for this is the high-end specification sheet, but also a couple of enhancements that are only found on Huawei and HONOR phones, especially the View20. You have something called GPU Turbo 3.0, which recently came out to Magic UI and uses the NPU processing to figure out power consumption between the CPU and the GPU, ultimately pushing the GPU in supported games so that you can get an even better experience. I wish that I could tell you I actually feel the big difference, but in supported games like PUBG Mobile and Dragon Ball Legends, I'm just having a good time. However, Fortnite was just added on to GPU Turbo 3.0 and it can get up to 60 frames per second play, which is great for phones like this. There's also a cooling system that helps much of the phone to not get too hot, so credit goes to HONOR for putting their best foot forward for gamers. HONOR also put a good foot forward with their display, hiding a small hole punch in the top left that was the first of its kind that was widely available. I remember HONOR talking about how small the hole is compared to competitors, but let's be real. By the time the Galaxy S10 was announced, we knew that it didn't truly matter how big the hole is as long as it didn't cut into the content. After using the HONOR View20 first before the Galaxy S10, I was at least ready for the fact that hole punches were going to become prevalent. And you know what? I don't hate it. It's undoubtedly better than the notches, but I have to be honest. There are other ways that companies have gotten around this whole cutting of the display that I do find a bit more exciting. But where HONOR does hit the mark and sets another bar is with its cameras. The View20 is not the best camera package out there. Let's just start that off. It does not have a wide angle like many new recent flagships, but what you do get is the latest Sony IMX 48 megapixel sensor that hasn't appeared in many 2019 phones yet. In at least one other phone, we've already seen how high megapixel counts means better detail, but HONOR took it a step further by putting in the AI Ultra Clarity mode. The already powerful sensor takes a bunch of photos in a 4-second time span and puts them together to add further detail to the original shot. This sounds like the night mode from Huawei phones, which does appear here as well, but this mode makes it clear that it is meant for good lighting conditions. So clearly HONOR expects the Ultra Clarity mode to be a peak stills photography mode. You might be able to tell from all of the pictures that I'm showing you already that I decided to put the mode to the test. After all, high megapixel counts can help for a move that we don't really do a whole lot anymore, and that's Photo printing. Good detail in a small photo is one thing, but I wanted to set out and try doing a large print to adorn one of my walls here in my office. I'm still going out and taking more pictures around Los Angeles to have some good choices, but then you can see the result over on my channel once I get that video done. That little experiment did prove one thing to me though. Detail is king in the HONOR View20, making the 48 megapixel ultra clarity mode one of the funner modes to use, because you just want to see how dope the photo might turn out. The rest of the modes, including the selfie modes, aren't bad. In fact, video is actually pretty well stabilized. But the more conventional smartphone photography experiences here don't truly rival the top-tier cameras we've seen since the View20 was launched. It's all about that high-powered sensor and how HONOR did something unique with it. And with that, we have a look at some of the best parts of the HONOR View20. Now, my main takeaways here are that the hole punch, the gaming forward features, and the Uber camera sensor are still great selling points for what is actually a pretty affordable phone. A quick thanks to HONOR for helping make this video possible, but further appreciation to them for pricing the View20 at lower than many of the flagships we're seeing now. It's actually around the same price as the OnePlus 6T. That puts this phone in an affordable high-end category, even while sporting features that no other flagship still provides. Do you have an HONOR View20? Let us know what your experience has been in the comments down below. And for everyone else, let us know what you think of HONOR's most recent phone. We wanted to take another look at it because the current deluge of phones makes it easy to forget some of the gems that we've already seen this year. So a revisit felt kind of right. But in any case, we're going to go ahead and call it on this one. Thank you so much for watching. Look forward to more content from us here at Pocketnow, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can also follow me at youtube.com/Joshua Vergara so you can see the results of that little experiment that I did in using the 48 megapixel AI ultra clarity mode to try and create a nice looking large print of one or maybe up to 3 of the photos that I took out in Los Angeles, and I want to be able to put them up on my walls here in my office. In any case, look forward to that over on my channel, and then come on back to Pocketnow for even more. And with that, we're just going to go ahead and see you in our next video.